Hello and welcome to So You Think You're Awake, the show about life transformation through dream interpretation. I'm Michael Sheridan. On this show, through analysing your dreams, I reveal your potential and the obstacles you need to overcome. I'm very specific. I tell you what your superpowers are, what your spiritual gifts are, and then I tell you what is holding you back from them. And these bumps that are in the way in your life or appear to be in the way in your life are not actually in the way, they are the way. That's where your growth is. And that's basically the theme of the show. You send me your dreams, I point those things out to you from your dreams, and then you write in and agree with me. Like that happens all the time. Today I'm going to share some of the recent feedback I got just in the last week. I don't always share it. I don't know why. It's probably a really good idea to share it from a marketing perspective, but I need to learn, I suppose. So it's a packed week for me. There are several free things going on this week. One I'm going to mention because I won't see it till next week and it'll be too late. But my book, my dream interpretation book, and in fact all my books, are available on Amazon from tomorrow at 8 a.m. my time for 99 cents. So less than $1, and you can get the Kindle version of any of my books. And that's going to last for a week. But you heard it here. So go to Amazon.com or go to my website and click books, dream-analysis.com. That'll bring you to the Amazon website and you can get my book there. So if you've been wondering about getting it, it's very easy to buy it for $1. See if you like it. And of course, you have to. My book has the dictionary in it, of course, that's freely available on my website, dream-analysis.com. But it has tons and tons and tons of lessons in it. So if there's an area that interests you, like you're interested in spiritual teaching or writing, there's chapters on each of those. You're interested in channeling, there's a whole chapter on that and how to tell it in your dreams and the different types of channeling and so on. You name it, whatever the gift is, there's a chapter in the book about it. And then whatever issues are that you might see in your dream, there's also a chapter in the book about it. So if you see heart issues or cancer issues or digestive system stuff, you'll be able to find information in the book in the lessons part that will explain why these things happen, what you need to do to resolve the issues and so on. It's not just a dream book, it's a life book. So what else have I got? So that's one thing, that's great. I also have my big event on Friday, and it's starting at 6:30 p.m. this Friday, Pacific time, October 15th. And the first day is really short. It's 2.5 hours. And on the first day, my team and I, that's me, Holly, April, and Sandy, are going to be talking about symbols. And you're saying to yourself, well, how can you talk about symbols for 2.5 hours? Well, that was a question I would have asked before we all met together in Arizona and came up with the agenda and the content for this weekend. There's a lot of planning has gone into this, and I really have to thank the rest of the team for all the work that they've put into this. And the presentation that we have put together so far is looking absolutely fantastic. Extremely happy with it. And just looking at symbols, we said, okay, how do we pare this back and take it like right from the beginning? Assume I know nothing. How can I learn something about how to analyze my dreams in one weekend and go away armed with something, armed to the teeth, so that I know that I can do it? And also, what if I have lots of experience? What can people who have lots of experience, people who've even done my mentorship course, can they learn something from this weekend? And we've got lots in there so that everybody can. But we've taken it right back, and it's always good to look at things from first principles because it gives you fresh eyes again, and you say, oh, that's why that happens. That's why that's important in a dream. So looking at symbols, we start off how to look at symbols. I talk about the 9 types of symbol categories that exist, the 9 types of symbols. Which symbols are the most important in the dream and how to find them. That's really cool. I talk about 2. And then what symbols can you ignore in a dream? Is everything a symbol? Well, everything really is a symbol if it fits into one of the 9 types. But are there symbols you should ignore? And the answer is yes, there are, but it's also easy to tell which ones you should ignore. We cover that too. I also cover the meaning of the 3 most common dreams on the planet. So I'd say statistically 80% of the people who attend are going to get some value just from hearing what those particular dreams mean. But one of the things I do include is the dream that revealed my life purpose to me. And I don't share that one. I don't think I've ever shared it before. It's kind of in my book in disguise, but only a little bit of it is in my book. So I'm sharing the whole dream, and we're going to cover it over the weekend. But on the first night, we're going to use it to help you understand the lessons that we've covered. It's very interactive. It's a very fun evening. And so we'll cover a piece, and then you'll get to try out what we've just talked about. And then we'll cover another piece. You get to try it more, and so on and so on. But you will basically, by the end of the weekend, be able to analyze the dream that revealed my life purpose in extreme detail. And you would be able to do that without any assistance. And so that means you will be able to do that with your own dreams and with your friends' dreams and so on. And that's our goal. That's our goal for the weekend. Our mission is to inspire people to be passionate about their dreams and discovering their gifts and their life purpose. And if you don't know that about me, you don't know me at all. And so it's a free event because it aligns with our mission. And then hopefully you might at some time in the future want to do one of my paid courses. But this one is free, and you can get it by reserving a seat. It does cost you to reserve the seat, but you get the money back at the event. And I'm doing that because I only have a limited number of seats. So if you do any online business, 30% of people who register show up. So this is my way of making sure that only the people who want to show up actually register. So go to dream-analysis.com. You'll see the event on any page you go to on the website. Register for it. I just talked about what we're going to cover on day 1. Days 2 and 3 are longer and more packed than that, but it's really going to be fantastic. And one of the things that caught me off guard, I didn't think about this, and I don't know why, and it's my own fault, because I'm from Ireland. I didn't think of the Irish time zone, and I have lots of people who follow me from the European time zone, obviously. And so if you're registering, you can use the code time zone, apply that code at the registration. It'll give you a discount off the $97, even though you were going to get that back. But this is for you to basically buy the recording in advance. It costs $79. So you'll get that discount and you'll register and you'll be able to get the recordings. And anybody who does will get the recording of the Friday evening right after the event so that they can watch it before the Saturday or Sunday classes start. And that's because in your time zone, it's going to start late in the day on Saturday. You can watch the recording from the Friday. And I apologize for that, my own oversight. And like I said, a lot of people I've worked with and still work with are in that time zone, and it was a mistake, so that's why we're doing this. So you can use that code time zone, and basically you're buying the recording for $79, and that's cheaper than you're going to get it. Really we weren't going to do recordings because that wasn't the intention, and this has kind of messed that up. But that's a solution to it. What else are we doing that's free this week? I have a talk on prophecy and dreams that I'm doing with Ann Tucker at her long-running Wisdom Soup event. Now, I've done a prophecy talk there before, and it's how to tell if your dreams are prophetic. And that's on Thursday evening at 7 o'clock Pacific time. And you can get to that event by going to dream-analysis.com/prophecy. And you can spell prophecy any way you want, and it'll take you to the correct link to register for that free event with Ann Tucker. And I'm doing a movie theme in it. You're thinking straight away, how can he mix movies and dreams? Well, that's what I'm going to do. At the start, it's going to be kind of like a movie theme. This is why prophecy is important. And if you do go to that event, I can give you a little bit of a teaser. I'm going to share dreams from a woman and her daughter who both dreamt that, in her case, her partner, in the daughter's case, her father, was going to pass. They thought he was healthy. And within a week of their dreams, they both had 2 different dreams, showing it in different ways. Within a week, he passed. And this is one of those things that a lot of people get turned off by. They get turned off by prophetic dreams because it disturbs them, because they feel like, oh, I didn't need to know that, or maybe it partly happened because of the fact that I had the dream or I made it happen. But you really need to look at this and say, how can I be told in advance of something so significant? How is it known in advance? How is it being foretold? And then who is doing the foretelling? Who is telling me that this is going to happen? And basically look at your life and say, I have this gift or I have this ability, but the fact, and even if you don't, but the fact that other people do, there's more to life than just the physical. It definitely tells us this. And so these dreams, I'm going to mix in dreams of events that predicted things in the past, where the dreams predicted it beforehand. And we're going to talk about dreams that are predicting what's coming. And my view is always, don't wait for something major to happen in order to work on yourself, in order to heal aspects of your life, in order to get into the gifts you're meant to be using, in order to step into alignment with what your purpose is. Do that anyway. Do that now. Definitely clear the things that cause anger and guilt and shame and whatever it is that keeps your heart heavy. Clear those things now, because you are going to be super grateful that you did, because you're going to have to do it at some point anyway, whether you do it in this lifetime, another lifetime, or 10 lifetimes from now. These are things you're going to have to work on. But if you do work on it now, do heal yourself now, it's going to be super beneficial for you because of what's coming. So yeah, I just find them fascinating. I don't talk about them a lot. And I do find it funny though, when I send out a broadcast about prophetic dreams, I always get a flurry of unsubscribes. It is the gift that really turns a lot of people off. And, you know, what can you do about it? It turns people off, but it doesn't mean it's not real. All right. So that's it. They're the three things. The book available tomorrow for 99 cents. The event with Ann Tucker on Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Go to dream-analysis.com/prophecy and you can register for that for free. And then my event starting on Friday, October 15th, 6:30 p.m. Go to dream-analysis.com, register there, and use the code TIMEZONE if you want to get the recordings. If you're not in that time zone, if you're not impacted by a time zone, you can still write to me if you've already purchased this ticket and say, can I avail of this special offer? And yes, you can. I'm not going to offer it to one person and say no to another. So you can do that. That won't be a problem. Let's have a look at some dreams. But I said earlier that I get feedback all the time and I don't always share it. Sometimes I do. So I decided, okay, I'm going to share a little bit of the feedback I got during the week. And it's always plenty and I love to get it. I really love when people do write and say, look, you got this right, you got that right, etc., because that's how I get better at it. And I do have to say that, you know, go back years, because I'm now in my 4th decade of doing this, working on doing dream work. I learn from people's feedback. Even if I get it right and they tell me some details that are like really interesting and add finesse to the interpretation or the reason for them having the dream, I use that in future analysis for other people. And then going back years, when somebody would write and say, well, you know, that wasn't quite right, here's what went on. Then I adjust the meaning of that symbol or add to it for future dreams. So I always love the feedback. So the first one is from Jacqueline. She says, hi, Michael, your analysis of the decapitation dream was dead on. And she dreamt that her parents were decapitated from driving under a bus. She said, that dream really bothered me for months, and now I feel at ease knowing that my parents are okay on the other side. It also validated how I felt thrown under the bus around the time of their passing. Thanks again. Well, thanks for writing in and letting us all know that that worked. And this was an old dream that bothered her, and now it's not going to bother her anymore. And I have another one from Lee. He says, just a quick email to say thank you so much for interpreting the bugs under the tarp dream the other week. Guess what? You nailed it again. Am I surprised? Of course not. A few days before the dream, I started eating yogurt again after at least a year of no dairy. My wife was surprised because she was sure I had found out that I was intolerant to dairy a year before from some dreams. I had just forgotten. In the dream, I couldn't see what was going on under the tarp, but she could. Maybe the yogurt bacteria is no good for my gut. So anyway, thank you again. No dairy for me from now on. Well, Lee, that is true. You shouldn't have dairy. But what I said it's about is parasites. So you want to go get yourself checked for that and cleared for that. It's very easy. You take like Pin-X, I think it's called here. I don't know what it's called there. You take it now, and then 10 days from now you take it again, and then it's cleared. So it's a simple solution. but it is more than just stopping the food. And it's always interesting. Parasites will make you eat foods, make you crave foods that they want. How do they do it? Well, evolution. They've had a long time to work out how they do these things and get us to do things. So another feedback. This one is from Misty. She says, "Thank you, Michael, for your analysis of Two Dreams on your show." And this was, I told her that she was clairvoyant and got images and movies about people, and that's how her guides communicated with her, and that she needed to cut the ties with her mom in order to improve that. You can go back to the last couple of weeks, you'll find all these dreams. So it's just good to get the feedback. And she says, "You're right that I am unsure about how to completely cut the ties that bind with my mother. I have released negative memories with her, but still working on all the issues." And, it is a process. Also, I have started to notice I do get images and very short videos of things. I do not have clients yet, but that's something I would like to achieve. And indeed, you will, Misty, you will. But just take things as they come. I want to be able to tap into it when I would like to, instead of it happening at random as it does now. And of course, that's how it happens. In the beginning, something triggers a memory or an event, or you having the experience of using your gift, and you're like, okay, now I know I have something, but how do I use it on demand? And that's what I teach on one of my courses. In fact, I have a course coming up in November where I teach people how to channel. And we cover all the different ways it works. And you're only going to do it the way it works for you. We don't teach, hey, everybody's clairvoyant. No, they're not. And we don't teach everybody's intuitive, because no, they're not. We find out from your dreams what it is for you, how it works for you, and then you work in that method. And not everybody in the class will work in that method, so you will see the other ways. But if you try use a method that isn't yours, then you may as well give up. So anyway, that does start November. I'm not sure when, first week or two of November. You can get all that detail on my website, dream-analysis.com. Just click on courses. Anyway, you said, I have had other dreams where videos play out, so that makes sense that it relates to clairvoyance. Again, thank you for your interpretation. And she says, I'm willing to be on the main stage for your workshop. My name is already out there. And like you say, with acknowledging having abilities, even in your head, it's all part of you, which it is. And fair play to you, Misty. And maybe we will have you on the main stage. So that's excellent. And Misty sent in another dream. In fact, she sent it in a short while ago, but I have it here. So let's start with that one. Why don't we? And she calls it, do you want the photos or the flight? But here's the key thing in the dream. Here's a question. What does it mean if someone asks you to give back their high heels? Now, if it was my dream, it would be disturbing for my wife, I'm sure. But it's going to be different for Misty. And what does it mean? So what do high heels mean? And what does it mean if somebody else asks you to give them back? She says a few comments about things, but I'm going to skip that. And we're just going to go straight through to the dream. She says, I'm wearing high heels that I had borrowed from a friend's sibling. My friend tells me that her sister had been wanting them back. I told her she should have just asked. I take them off and switch to sandals, then say, we need to look for heels of my own now. Okay, I was going to read the whole dream and then do this, but I'm just going to stop. It's kind of a longish dream. This part is the part I like. Well, I like a lot of it, but I really like this because it's, even if you sent nothing else in, this tells us a lot. So it means you're to find your own way of activating your own spiritual aspect, using your own gifts. We're all unique. If I channel a particular way. I'm really good at channeling about foods and channeling on dreams and a few other things. And then there's other things that if somebody said, hey, could you check this out for me? I would say I'm not the best at that, but I know somebody who's good at that type of channeling. And why is that the case? Well, there's ways around it. You can fix that. I could easily ask my guides to go get somebody who is good at answering those questions and then channel what they give me. And anyway, there's ways to do that. But I think if you know what your lane is, stick with your lane because you're just going to get so good in your lane at the gifts and using those gifts the way you're meant to. And that's what this is about. So having somebody else's high heels means that you have, you've copied Like you say, it's a friend's sibling. So it could even be your own sibling. But either way, it's you have copied somebody else's style of accessing your spiritual nature. But you have your own unique style. And that's what you've decided at this point in the dream is it's time for me to give back what I've learned. It's not that I have what I've learned is wrong or anything like that. But now I'm going to move forward and I'm going to find out my own unique way of doing these things. These shoes are going to belong to me. These high heels are going to belong to me. And high heels represent accessing our spiritual side because they raise us up. They, you're going to be taller. It doesn't matter that it's only a few inches, but they symbolically, they raise you in a dream. So that's what it's going to be about. You're raising your vibration by accessing your spiritual nature. Let's continue with the dream. You say, we go to a flea market and enter a section that has high heels. The market owners are asking me if I need help finding anything, but I say no. I'm suddenly looking in the makeup section. Okay, so here's one of the things you need to fix. You are offered help by guides in a dream because you say, who is it asks you? The market owners. So they're guides because they have a title. And they're saying basically, we can help you. Would you like our help? And you're like, no, I'll do this on my own. So that's the first thing you need to overcome. The idea that you need to do things on your own. Get help. Always get help from an expert. Whether it's something physical, whether it's something business related, whatever it is, or spiritual, absolutely ask for help. But definitely ask help from your guides, first and foremost. Make sure you put that request out there. So have you ever meditated and said, hey guides, here's what I want to do, and I want your help with me discovering who I am, discovering what my gifts are, and getting to the point where I have clients, like you said in your email. So there's no problem asking them. And in fact, they want you to ask them for help because they're there to help you. But they don't help unless you ask. All right. You say, I'm suddenly looking in the makeup section. An announcement comes on overhead about a flight. Flights are good, especially when it's a spiritual dream. Taylor, and I've changed the name of your friend because I'm going to say what she's like. Taylor comes rushing over and says, did you hear that? Flight A is about to leave in 10 minutes. So getting on a flight in a dream is really good. It's about a departure. It's about life taking on a new direction for you. And because we know it's a spiritual dream, it's super to see. And 10 is to do a completion. So it's saying that you are now set. You know, if you've spent a long time searching, then to see the number 10 show up on this flight, it's really good. It's like this is something really really important for you. You're going to be very happy you did it. I start to panic because we haven't even checked in. So you're panicking about your spiritual direction, which you shouldn't do. Just relax. You can't miss it. We walk out of the flea market and immediately are in the airport. It's fine because of the flights. But it's all connected. So we go to the check stand and confirm we now have 9 minutes before the plane leaves. So 9 is also a really good number. 9 is about having being on your last necessary earth life. Now, what is typical is if I see a 9 in a dream, I would then wonder, is that person a guide? Because the dreams don't say, hey, you finished your lifetime. So just say, this is the last one you need to be here for. But that could have also been true in the last time you were here and the time before that, because we can come back even when we're finished with the earth plane. And some of us come back to help. So that's very possibly true for you too. But it's really good either way because it says that once you do what you came here to do, you won't need to come back. And so it's kind of like a kick in the butt. It says, don't worry about how you think people are going to perceive you or shun you or whatever it is, whatever is causing you the panic. Don't worry about that. What's much more important is for you to achieve what you came here to do because this is the last time you need to do it. We walk out of the flea market. Taylor asks the woman at the check-in counter, can you pull up old family photos? And the woman says, do you want the photos or the flight? So don't get caught in the past. Don't get caught on looking at the past and things that you want to hold on to. We need to basically die in order to move forward. So an aspect of us dies, an aspect of us, we let go of it. forever. And then we move forward into some much more positive aspect of ourselves. So she's basically saying, do you want to focus on where you're going or focus on what you're leaving behind? And you don't want to focus on what you're leaving behind. Taylor asked, okay. I tell her that we want the flight. Now, it's interesting, Taylor asked her that. So what is it about Taylor? And I asked you, what was Taylor like? And you said she's independent, witty, blunt, responsible, reliable, and a loyal friend. But she can also be judgmental, insecure, picky, stubborn, a perfectionist, and an overthinker. So pick one of those negatives. You're overthinking, let's say, or insecure. But probably the overthinking. So you need to let go of that because that's not doing you any good whatsoever right now. I'm looking at the time. Then I said, I need to put my contacts in. Well, good, because that's about your clairvoyance. So that's the step you're on. That's what you need to do, is get that working. So I run to the bathroom counter and I fill the contacts case. The bathroom counter is about letting go of something, just like the guide had said at the check-in desk. I fill the contact case with solution, but I place the contacts back inside. So now I have to put my glasses on. Well, glasses are another symbol for it too, but it would have been nicer if you put the contacts in. I run back to hear Taylor giving my ex's name, which I assumed was for in case of emergency purposes. She tries to give his birthday, but messed up the day. It's actually 12/19/2001, you say. And as the woman is putting it in, I realize my mistake and say, sorry, it's 1991. After we complete the check-in process, the woman looks at me and says, you've 1 hour to live. She turns her computer screen that shows a countdown has started that will end at 4:59 p.m. Wouldn't it be great if I just ended the show right here, said we're out of time. So the 1 hour to live is, like I said, you have to let go of the past, let go of something about you in order to take on the new thing. You can't hold on to the old things. Imagine meeting an angel and saying, do you really miss those times on the earth plane when you were worried about housing and shelter and so on? Of course they're not going to. And many other things they've let go. So you need to let go of things. That's basically what it's saying. And then the dates and the partner. So you're wondering, have I done the right thing? You left your partner in June, I think. So there's just a little bit of wrap up there. I think what you did was okay, and so on. And all right, so that's it. That's the dream. But it's really good. I thought I would have more, but we're out of time. So I will say, go to my website, dream-analysis.com, register for the event on Friday, and register for the prophecy event with Ann Tucker, dream-analysis.com/prophecy. So until next week, take care. Bye.